Cannon Fodder TV, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, it's a surprise morning show over here on Cannon Fodder TV land. We've got some Yuri Timber updates. We've got some news about Thomas Partey. We've got some news about a player who's been loaned out again for the second time. But he appears to be happy in the photo. But we're going to get into this one on the other side of this music intro. Yes, welcome back indeed to Cannon Fodder TV, the channel for Arsenal fans literally all over this world. Surprise morning show, not surprise. I did say it last week. I'll be back, maybe doing a double header, one in the morning and one somewhere in the evening, anyway, at least. So yeah, before we get into this, make sure guys that you do just click the like button, and you can also come to a live chat. You can chat over David Raya's image there, just on somewhere over there. Forget about the bottle of champers over here. Here's a bottle of champagne. It is. Yeah, it is. It is. So let's get into this one. Kind of update on a urine timber of some sorts. Yeah, urine timber, and maybe some news on Alexander Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. Also hoping to discover the extent of urine timber's injury after the new sign limped off the weekend. The Defenders Premier League debut ended just after the half-hour mark. Yeah, the win over Nottingham Forest after the half hour. Arteta is already without the likes of Alexander Zinchenko, Florian Balogun, Reece Nelson, Mohamed El Neni to start the season, while key striker Gabriel Jesus is also currently sidelined after undergoing a knee procedure last week. Now, the Spaniard will hope that Timber's setback is nothing serious, as he confirmed that there's no reason to take off the 11th international at half time, well, to his detriment. But Arteta said that the doctors looked at him and they were happy for him to continue. He was as well. Straight away in the first action of the second half, he made a movement and it was a bit funny. We took him out straight after, and now we have to assess him and see what that means for him as well as for the team. Yeah, just you know what comes to mind when I remember, and I'm probably going to be talking about Thomas Partey. When Thomas Partey was injured, when he 2 seasons ago, and we're playing against the old enemy down the road, and I remember he was like had an injury pointing to his leg, and he's trying to come off, and then Mikel Arteta was trying to push him back on. No, get back on, get back on. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what is the update when the news comes out about Ewan Timber, the extent of his issue. They don't really like to use the word injury. The player had an issue to the leg or the ankle or the back or the head. It's an injury, isn't it? It's just an injury. Just say it's an injury. Anyway, let's try and remain upbeat on this one. Next news segment is about the goalkeeper, imminent announcement, but from a different angle. Shay Given, I think he used to play for Aston Villa, the Irishman, Irish goalkeeper, slams Arsenal for planning to bring in Brentford's David Raya on loan, claiming, "If I was Aaron Ramsdale, I wouldn't be happy. You're signing a problem." Now, Shay Given has a question why Arsenal are bringing in a goalkeeper, David Raya, on loan from Brentford, claiming that current number one, Aaron Ramsdale, wouldn't be happy. I'll actually mention some of that, that Aaron Ramsdale actually came out in response to Arsenal's imminent sign of David Raya. Former goalkeeper Given told BBC's Match of the Day that he felt the move was signing a problem to the Emirates. When Ramsdale is ready between the posts, Given said, "I have to look at that and say, you're signing a problem. Ramsdale for me was one of the best players last year. He made big performances and really settled into that position." Well, the goalkeeper is only one position to play. Now, if you're bringing in Raya, who's a number one in his own right, then you're causing yourself a problem. I don't think Raya would leave Brentford, who's a number one at Brentford, to be number two at Arsenal or any other club. If I was in that position, I wouldn't go to any club as a number two, No chance. So I don't understand why Arteta wants to bring him in. The goalie coach used to be Brentford, so he's bringing Raya in for a reason. He likes him. Maybe he's given some assurances that he's going to be number one. But I wouldn't be happy if I was Ramsdale. Now, Given explained that outfield positions have two options in every role fighting for position. But the psychology was different for goalkeepers. I kind of disagree with him. Psychologically, he said, if you make a mistake, and we all do, we're human beings, you think, oh, I made a mistake. Raya's playing next week. Or Ramsdale, you're playing on a bit of an edge the whole time. You don't want that as a goalkeeper. You want to play. You want the backing of your manager. You're number one. Even if you make a mistake, I'll back you. Couple of mistakes from Ramsdale last year, played into midfield. He got caught out and they conceded a goal. Does he look over his shoulder going on, oh, Raya's going to come in now because I've made a mistake? No, he needs to know that he's number one. And I don't think it's good chemistry to have both of them pushing for that position. Do you know what? I disagree with Given on this one. It doesn't matter personally. I'm only talking from my experience of playing low level football, county level football. You can't have a player thinking no matter what happens that you're going to be a dead cert on the team sheet come the Wednesday night, Monday night, Saturday night. It can't have that because what happens? You have complacency. So I disagree with Given on that. It's saying, oh, if I make a mistake, Raya is behind, and that's what you want. Surely you want that. They're professionals. They play professional. They play under pressure. And actually, Aaron Ramsdale said himself, well, you know what, bring it on. It happened to me. Or actually, I did it to somebody else. That I came into a team and I worked my way through to the number one shirt. So I disagree with Given saying you're creating a problem. What you're creating, and the players should understand this, is competition. So Given, I completely disagree with you. Completely disagree. Competition is good. Now, what about all the other players? What about all the other players? You're saying there that it's different. It's not different for outfield players. It should be the same for all the players, no matter what position you play at. Whether you're a marquee signing, whether you're, academy players just come to the first team. Competition is good because what happens when there's no competition? The manager will be limited for choices, and the players will know that they're going to be a dead cert, and that's complacency. And complacency is not a good thing. Now, for competition and having the ambition, there is this talk about, whoa, oh, Man City now, they've done it all. Complacency might set in now. They've achieved everything. And that's why it's good to have a manager that will keep you hungry with what? Competition. So I disagree with Given there. I really completely disagree with him. Right. Next, a little bit of a rant there. Was it a rant? Was it a rant? Was it a rant? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, next news segment. And this, I might give you my opinion. I might not. But this is coming up from the Daily Mail, I believe. Daily Mail? Well, anyway, the headline reads, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is the new Tinkerman as he rings the changes in the win against Forest with Thomas Partey playing out back. Now, actually, it doesn't say right out back. It says at the right back. Now, the fingerprints of Pep Guardiola smudges across Arsenal's team could be seen in plain sight. He's here in North London. Mikel Arteta is not the first to borrow from Guardiola's tactical rationale. The influences goes back to 3 years Arteta spent at Man City, assistant manager after retiring from playing in 2016. Now, the Man City boss in recent times said that he's Arteta busy. I'm busy, but the affection and respect I have with him will remain forever. He knows that. It's a strong connection which was created, another Tinkerman has seen during the Gunners pre-season. The most opportune time to build strategic plans. But first game of the Premier League season, brazen really, isn't it? Now, I know what the report is talking about, but we'll read on. Centre-back Gabriel had been swapped out for striker Eddie Nketiah, who hit the opener. Midfielder Thomas Partey was hauled to right back before Declan Rice moved further up the pitch in the second half against Forest. When asked about the varied team selections, Arteta said, "That's my job, to create bigger problems for the opponent than the ones that they are creating for us, and to play the best possible way to earn the right to win the game." It resulted in a 2-1 win victory, but the last 10-15 minutes was a little bit touch and go, man. With the showing glossed over by two pieces of individual brilliance from Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Saka's curled finish, it was a really good goal, dropping a shoulder to make space and to find the top left-hand corner, brought the Emirates to its feet. Yeah, it was almost silenced by Forest pressure in the final minutes. Morgan Gibbs-White struck over the bar, should have scored, which could have levelled it after Taiwo and Roy's goal in the 82nd minute. There is clear endeavour from Arteta to ensure no player feels too secure. And like I said, the expected signs of Brentford goalkeeper David Raya this week is an example. And Ramsdale has been told and made to feel for months that he's number one. Yet Raya is coming in with a remit to displace him. And I welcome that. But the main crux of the report, again, not from me, it's not from me, it's from the Daily Mail, is that you look at a Man City and you look at Arsenal, Mikel Arteta. Arteta's trying to make Arsenal into Man City 2.0. You can't do that. You cannot do that. And is it any wonder when we play them more times, 9 times out of 10, is that one time, that they're going to beat us? Because he's a school from Pep Guardiola, isn't he? So Pep Guardiola knows what Mikel Arteta is going to do. Arsenal we have our way, Mikel Arteta. And Man City, they have their way. But, you know, Tinkerman, what I call Mikel Arteta Tinkerman? Yeah. I will call him the Tinkerman. Oh, dearie me. A Thomas Partey out on the right. Fullback. Inverted. He hasn't got the legs to recover. Keep the guy in the centre of midfield. You've got probably the best defensive midfielder now in the league. It's been proven by stats in Declan Rice. Use Declan Rice as a sitting defensive midfielder, so Thomas Partey can roam and do the things that he does, whatever he does. But tinkering, anyway, go on. We're gonna go on. The next news segment. Yes, a little bit. Is it sad? Somewhat. If I can find him, Charlie Patino. Well, anyway, Arsenal exit announced as Star joins club, who beat him home and away last season. Yeah, Arsenal midfielder Charlie Patino has completed a pre-season loan switch to Swansea. Patino, age 19, spent last season on loan to Championship side Blackpool. The England under-21 international featured heavily at Bloomfield Road, racking up 37 appearances across all competitions. So, Charlie Patino, a never loan spell. I wonder how he feels. We need to ask him. These have been the new segments today. So, coming to the live chat. I'm still waiting for the news, though, about David Raya's official announcement. I did say yesterday that he has completed the first part of his medical. So I guess it's imminent. Maybe, at the time of finishing this show here, it could be that David Raya has been officially announced. But I have not seen or heard anything to suggest that that is the case. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go into the Twitter feed. Actually, see if there's any. Well, someone sent me two direct messages. I'm just check that out later on today. Actually, when I finish this show here, I've got some phone calls that are very important phone calls to make. Let's have a look here. Okay, right. There's nothing to suggest. Oh, dearie me. All right, okay. Yeah, I've just seen something. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. I'll probably talk about it in the evening show. Yeah, it's sad news. A particular club has rebranded its name to attract a different clientele, but we'll talk about that in the evening show. I'm not going to talk about it now. But anyway, there's no retweets about we are live and direct. Next one I need to do is go into the poll that we did. The poll was your man of the match. Who was your man of the match versus Nottingham Forest? And again, I've only chosen some familiar names: Bukayo Saka, Saliba, Nketiah, Martinelli, and other players to kind of cover my back. I didn't see the game. 748 votes. Thank you. One comment. I need to respond to that comment. 19 likes. Thank you for that. So these are how the numbers are falling. So tied on 3% of the votes. Other player and Eddie Nketiah, you horrible lot. He scored the first goal. It was a good goal. Did you see that swivel by Martinelli? Did he mean that? I don't think he meant that. I don't think he meant that. Anyway, on 8% of the votes, it's William Saliba. 27% of the votes, it's Martinelli. And on 59% of the votes, it's Bukayo Saka. Surprise, surprise. You lot are horrible. Absolutely horrible. All right. So I think we can go into the live chat now, I think. It's populated somewhat. Yeah. It's kind of, yeah. Good afternoon, Emerson. I hope you're well. Ashley D says, hey up, Gooners, and hey up to you. The Assembled is in the house. Good afternoon, Alex. And the chat room, is the rumour that Tierney is going to Newcastle on loan true? I've not read that. I've been trying to downplay that. Why? Because he's a player that we need. We need him. And sometimes, for some people, you know, you don't like your number one status or your number one spot to be taken by anybody else because you like to believe and feel like you are number one. Unfortunately, with his position there, a little bit precarious. And if you look geographically, London, Newcastle, Scotland, Newcastle is closer to Scotland. I'm just saying, but I've not read that rumour yet. What I did say yesterday is that Brendan Rodgers has said, look, we don't like to talk about players who are not ours. You know the history that he's had, Celtic, and yeah, okay, fair enough. But what about Newcastle? I've not heard anything about Newcastle. Sorry, they're assembled. But good morning to you. Good afternoon. Emerson says Raya transfer should be completed today. Yeah, I imagine so. As the medical has been done, and it is the announcement is holding up the completion. And Glenwyn is in the house. Says howdy. Are you American now? Howdy. Yeehaw. Is that what South Africans say? Yeehaw. Howdy. Anyway, good morning. Good afternoon to you, brother. Good afternoon, because you're like a couple of hours ahead of us. How's you? I'm fine, brother. I'm fine. Thank you for the little snippet that you sent me this morning. I need to check it out. Thank you for that. Just been very, very busy with the family, extended family. They've now gone back to Spain, Mallorca, to make their way on Thursday back to Colombia. So thank you for your well wishes. Really good to have my wife's aunties over. It was good to see my wife just nattering away with her aunties, and we went to certain touristic places in London. Yeah. Anyway, Kieran Tierney is leaving probably true, but I won't cry over that. Excuse me. I would rather look at Gabriel Jesus and Ballo being injured now. We need some sort of backup. Okay. Hit the likes and make sure to press the notifications bell. If they want to, go in if they want to. The assemble says a question, Alex. Oh, a question for me. What are we watching and told by our PR? Doesn't seem to tally up. What's your thoughts? Example, Party of the best DM in the league, but he's at right back. Make it make sense. Well, you probably missed the top of the show. I said that, and I said it yesterday. First and foremost, positionally, Thomas Partey is not a defensive midfielder. He's not, and neither is he a box-to-box midfielder. He can just about run. I think I could probably run faster than him, and I'm serious. You know, playing him out of position as a right back or inverted right back, multiple occasions out of position, he was struggling to make it back. So, like you say, the best defensive midfielder, but you're playing him as a right back. We are no Man City. Mikel Arteta is no Pep Guardiola. I've said that to Glenwyn actually over the weekend. But for me, he's not the best defensive midfielder because he's not a defensive midfielder. He's more of a creative midfielder, more attacking minded, not defensive midfielder. In regards to the PR machinery, I don't fall for it. If it looks like a duck, it sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Not the best defensive midfielder. And the thing is, I feel like King Canute sometimes. This wave of stuff, people saying, oh, you know, Thomas Partey. I disagree. Thomas Partey is not the best defensive midfielder because he ain't a defensive midfielder. Now, Declan Rice is a defensive midfielder. Use him as a defensive midfielder. He shouldn't be going anywhere near, unless we're caught short in the midfields and everyone's like playing rush goalkeeper. You remember rush goalkeeper? There's no goalkeeper. Everyone's up front trying to score a goal. So for me, the best defensive midfielder is Declan Rice. Thomas Partey is more attacking-minded midfielder, not a defensive midfielder. And if that's the case, like you say, why are we playing him as an inverted right back or as a right back? I have no idea, man. No idea what's going on. No idea. Right. All right. I just kind of get the feeling that I'm probably missing something. I'm not sure if Colin is watching now. Colin, I know I've sent you a personal message, but I just want to back up that message by giving a vocal and visual message. The donation that you gave in a super chat during my brother's watch along was absolutely phenomenal. And I know, yeah, my brother, well, he's using my mum's Wi-Fi. That's where he was. It was in my mum's house. So the Wi-Fi, if anything, the Wi-Fi probably needs to be upgraded, and it needs to be a router extender upstairs. But in regards to the donation, thank you so very much. I don't talk about or ask people to make any donations. I don't even ask people now to subscribe to the channel. If you want to subscribe to the channel, then do it. And we are grateful for that. But you don't have to. We're just more happy if the people come in. There's one person and his dog, or one woman in the live chat, then we are grateful for that. But Colin, thank you so very much for that donation there of $50. Not the most. We have had more than that. You know, I think late last year we had a couple of donations, about £60, or I think maybe £70. That's the highest. But yeah, thank you very much, Colin. Thank you for that. Right. Any more comments in live chat? Otherwise, I'm going to quickly read these DMs here. All right, so I've just had a message from Talk TV. I think maybe the biggest, Talk Forest TV, maybe the biggest content creator for Nottingham Forest. She's saying that it's a shame that they were unfortunate not to get something from the game. And I've got something from Carl, actually, a DM, because the game yesterday, Carl is not an Arsenal supporter, he supports Liverpool, and there's no problem with that, unless you're talking about 1989. He says, I said, oh, it's surprised how well Chelsea have played. Your front five are frightening. That's my response to the game yesterday against Chelsea. Yes, but no central defensive midfielder. Yeah, I mean, the doors in the middle were wide open. To cover the defence, what Premier League team have no central defensive midfielder? Also, if we get an injury at the centre back, the cover that isn't good enough, we will probably get Romero Lavia, a player that I would have liked us to get, which looks like a good buy for the future, but not now. Obviously overpriced too. There is some news actually about a player that we were going after, and that player is Moises Caicedo, who told Liverpool he didn't want to go to Liverpool. He wanted to go to Chelsea because they have mega bucks in Bolly. And I think, is it £150 million? We don't have that money. We don't have that money. All right. I think we'll probably come to an end on this one. We come to an end. So I just need to refresh this page here. Okay, there's just one more comment there, I think. All right, so how come it's not come through? All right, so Christopher, I'm not sure why your comment's not come through, so I'll just use my phone here. Christopher, anyway, oh, there's a couple of comments that's not come through. So Glenwyn has actually said that Thomas Partey is doing the exact same thing like Zinni if he plays at right back. We have four players that can fill that position, but I want to see how he will persist with that. Well, we spoke about it, didn't we, Glenn? About the what's the word? It's the stubbornness of Mikel Arteta. But listen, the bottom line is it was the first game, isn't it? We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but it's just the first. It's the first game, and I just don't want to see that again. I don't want to see a Thomas Partey playing at right back or an inverted right back where he can move into the field, and that's what he did. The first snippet I saw on the match of the day, after he received the ball, then he moved into midfield. That's his position, playing in midfield, not as an inverted right back. It's weird, absolutely weird. Oops, what else do we have there? Oh, what's going on there? And Christopher Chen, good morning, says, so good afternoon, says, will Zinchenko be ready for our clash against Palace? That is a very good question. It looks like our chat is gone again. I would say no. I think he's probably still a few weeks away. A player that's been at the longest, actually, he's still not ready. Not ready. And again, if we're talking about selling Kieran Tierney, anyway. West Ham, what's going on here? Sorry. West Ham are in talks with another link with Mohamed Kudus. I don't think Mohamed Kudus, I know people are saying, oh, we're going to get him. He won't be coming to Arsenal. Christopher says Timber is injured. Yes, he is. I spoke about him at the top of the show. What's happened to our live chat? Live chat is gone again. Oh, goodness. Sorry about this. What's going on? Yeah, it's gone. First team, first game or not? PT Thomas Partey is at midfield. White, Tomiyasu, and Timber Suarez. I guess that's a conversation I'm going to have with Mr. Mikel Arteta. Yeah, I don't understand it. Really, I don't understand it. Yeah, you can hear that sound. I'm actually using the mouse for the first time in maybe 20 years. I never use a mouse. I use a touchpad or the screen. But what's happened? I've got finger linger. Been using the finger so much on the computer. Not good. Okay. Right. I believe that we have come to an end here. I will be reviewing the news of today on an evening show, evening afternoon show, or maybe late on tonight. Could be. But maybe make sure that you do stay tuned. What I'll do before I leave, do a final read of the poll question. The poll question is basically, who was your man of the match? And again, I base this on what little bit of action I saw, and it wasn't much over the weekend. So we received 755 votes, 1 comment, which I still need to respond to, 19 likes. So your man of the match is Bukayo Saka, second place for Martinelli, third is William Saliba, and tied on 3% is Eddie Nketiah and other player, whoever the other player is. We have finished on this one. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to be back later on this evening. Maybe we'll never update on, I guess maybe David Raya maybe have signed for Arsenal. He's completed the first part of his medical, but who knows with Arsenal? Who knows? He might do a U-turn and say, actually, I'm heading back to Brentford. I don't want to upset the apple cart over here at Arsenal and upset my good mate Aaron Ramsdale. Mate is not my mate. Anyway, enjoy the remnants of your day, and I shall see you maybe later on. This has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.